our seat a little bit. So bringing the feet out in front and a nice wide stance here. Still feeling grounded and connected to the base of the spine. And just dipping your legs over to the right. And just kind of back and forth. Allow yourself to feel free here, right? So that means you want to add your shoulders a little bit. We're just inviting the openness here. Good to see you. We're working toward what we call deer pose. Some call it that. We're just gonna drop the legs over to the right. The foot's kind of legs parallel to the front of the mat, and your back leg, just allow it to settle. This might take a little adjusting, so be at ease here. Your hands can stay on the earth, connected. If you feel the invitation to bring the upper part of your body toward the ground, you can do that and rest on forearms. You're connecting to the root, feeling the ground here. Gaze down. There's comfort in this space, and we'll be here for a little bit. Making the adjustments you need so your body feels as though it's settling. Inviting and soothing, calming breath. Think of the length of the spine. So from the crown of the head reaching forward, the tailbone reaching back. If you would like to bring your hands and stack them and rest your forehead here. The steer pose position is meant for grounding. Feel the path of the breath. In fact, take a deep breath in here and maybe sigh it out. Again, breathing in deeply. And a soothing breath out. One more in and out breath at your own. We'll come to hands if you fold it over. Go back to that position where we kind of open up the hips here. It's that side to side. Be liberal with the openness. There's no right or wrong. One leg goes in. We're gonna settle on to the left side, so the left leg is more parallel to the front of your mat. The back leg, make it as comfortable as possible. It doesn't have to be super tight or make space. Start to invite your body forward. For some, staying on the forearms is a nice place to be. If you can still keep the length along the spine and would rather fold onto the hands, please do. Find the grounding quality here. The noticing of the breath, taking a deep breath in maybe, and sighing it out if needed. Again, a big in breath. Allow the breath to flow out. Coming back through center. Maybe windshield wipering the legs again if that feels all right. We're gonna come around to a tabletop position. So in your own way, go ahead and find the space and take notice of the fingers. Spread them wide, please, and allow the pads of the fingers and the base of the palm to touch into the ground. Setting your wrists and shoulders in place so they're stacked on top of each other. Knees and hips. Let's invite that energy into a cow face pose. So the tailbone goes up, the heart goes forward. Feel the breath in here. And then gently that exchange into your cat back. Press the mat away. And please move at your own. We are activating our sacral chakra. Feeling the pelvic area, that space between the pelvis and the navel, as you exchange between both of these shapes. Be creative here if you'd like. What does your cat-cow feel like? Notice your breath as you exchange. Coming to a neutral spine when you're ready. We're going to draw that right foot between the thumbs. Keeping the hands on the ground though. Maybe shimmy your left leg back. This is a nice space to grab blocks if you want to bring the ground up to you. Again, we're pressing or activating that space between the top of the pelvis and the navel. So melt in here. Maybe you need a blanket under the knees. Crown of the head is reaching the opposite direction from the tailbone. And just breathe here. Sometimes a light pulsing mini cat-cow type can be helpful here. Just invite this shape. An easy flow with your breath. Pause in stillness if you are moving. Set up to come back to your table. That cat-cow exchange again. Make it as fluid, as fast or slow as you need it to be. Remembering the fingers spread wide. Coming to a neutral spine to the left foot can then come between your thumbs. Make space for your body to hold in this low shape. Either you stay still, or if that movement helps you to settle into, please go for it. Making space for the body might mean taking your foot out to one side a little bit more. Feel the openness here. As we come to slow this position if moving, we're just going to work our way to our backs. Not worried about what do we do next. We'll just do it. Come to lay on your back. Please draw your knees in towards your chest. Hands on the top of your knees and just make some circles here. Feel the low back, the middle back, how the upper back connect with the ground. Pausing that motion. Drop your knees to the right, please, and arms can be as comfortable as you need them. They might spread out wide. Your gaze might go over your left shoulder. Make space for where you need to be. You might even take your right hand and place it on top of your left thigh, the outer side of it. And just be here. Embracing the breath that comes in and out of this core region of the body. And we're kind of wringing out here. Think of a washcloth wringing out in this twist. Eyes can be open or closed. Just breathe. As we come back through center, remember that hands on the knees, kind of like stirring a pot. This time just go the opposite direction. So that might feel a little awkward, or it might be the side you prefer the most. And when it feels okay, go ahead and drop the knees to the left, please, and embrace, again, that wringing out. The core is a source of strength. Sometimes it's a good place to wring out, let go of the ego. Being powerful here, also knowing when to be at ease. Let's gently start to bring the knees back towards center. And the soles of the feet to the ground, the knees up toward the sky. As we have our hands by our sides, we're going to lift the hips and arms up. Arms come toward the ground behind us. Back of the hands touch, and just hold here for a moment. In space, we are offering a lot of the front body. And as we exhale, we're connecting again to the ground and earth. Hands down, hips come down. Let's flow that way a few more times, inviting that upward facing motion, and then embracing the steady and grounding. Moving at your own pace, please. Making the stretch as big as you need. The speed that you need. And then let's start to lower the hands by the hips. Extend out your legs long, pointing your toes if that feels right. Gonna work toward a very mini fish pose here. So you're gonna rest on the back of your hands underneath your body. Palms are on the ground, the legs are extended long. Dig the elbows into the mat as you lift your heart a bit. This fish pose is to open up. Not only are you offering your heart in this mini back bend, you're also opening up your thoracic region. Notice the breath come in and out. And we'll start to ease out of that as you exhale, lowering down, coming off of the hands. You might choose to rock up to seated and pop into your child's pose. Here we're activating that space between the brows, so you might rest your forehead on your hands as they're stacked or on the ground. Make space again for your body. Your knees might be really wide here, wide. Or if your core needs a little bit of attention, you can rest the belly on your thighs, bringing your legs closer. Let's enjoy the breath in here. And a full breath out. Once again, in breath. Exhale. Start to come into your table, thinking on your first down dog. And if this is the first time you've done it, we're just forming an upside down V shape. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, and start to straighten the legs. Gazing back at your toes, and invite yourself here by either pedaling the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Full breath in, sinking breath out. Trying to get your chest a little closer to the thighs. Maybe shake your head yes or no from side to side. Finding stillness here, let's lift onto the tips of the toes and then sink back through your heels, please. Again, lifting up on the tippy toes. Sink back through your heels. One more time, lifting up. Feel the stretch along the back of the legs as you sink back down. Lift your right leg up, three-legged dog, please. Toes face down, try to keep your hips square. Slowly lower the right leg back beside the left. Float the left leg up. And controlled, go ahead and lower that left leg down. Gazing forward. Let's walk toward the front of the mat, please. And find your fold once you arrive there. You can grab elbows if it feels best. Letting the body settle here. Finding a halfway lift when it's right. The hands plant on the shins or the thighs, but gaze just a few inches in front of your back or your mat, keeping a flat back. Exhale, please fold again. Let's go twice more. That inhale, halfway lift. Imagine there's a block on your back and you want to steady it. Yes, and fold. One more time, that halfway lift, please. Exhale, invite the fold. You're gonna rise up, but press down into the feet, arms out to the sides, and lift all the way up. Palms to touch, and hands to heart. Nice. Inhale, lift up, please. Exhale, fold all the way over. Halfway lifting. Exhale, folding. Let's step back to down dog. Right leg or left leg first, it doesn't matter. Take a full round of breath in your down dog. And on your next in-breath, come into a plank position. My plank can be on my knees. I don't have to be on my toes. Just take a full round of breath in once you get there. And then lower down. Maybe it's chaturanga. You can bring your knees down and do a half chaturanga. Elbows squeezing. A baby cobra just to start. Shoulders away from the ears. You got it. It's okay if you hide. That's fine. Exhale, down dog. Pedal out the feet. Take the full breath in here. Full breath out. Make your way to the front of the mat once again. Halfway lift. Fold in. Rise all the way up. Then stretch and reach. Hands to heart. Lifting up. Folding over on the empty breath. Down dog. Glide into your plank on the in-breath. And maybe hold it for a full round of breath in and out here. Exhale your lower down. Yeah. Elbow squeezing. That cobra as high as you need it, please. And down. Soothing breath in and out. When you're ready, gaze forward, make your way to the front of the mat. Some might like to hop. It's okay to do that. Land like a cat. Halfway lift, please. Enjoy your fold. Find your full rise up. Hands to heart. We'll go again. Inhale, lifting. Float on down as you need. That halfway lift. Hands plant. You want to skip down dog, you can go to plank. I want you to choose what makes sense for your body. You know, you lower down as you empty your breath. You got it. That back bend as high as you need it. Squeeze the elbows in toward the body. Got it. Nice. Down dog. Notice your breath here. If you need a few moments to capture it, please do. At ease. This last time through, think about your speed and pace, right? It's kind of a freedom thing here. Make your way to the front of the mat when you're ready. Halfway lifting. To find that fold. There's a rhythm to it, so rise up when you're ready to. Hands to heart. This last round, really take liberty with how you like to move here. And comfort in your breath, the sound of breath around you. The blanket, down dog, lowering at your leisure. When you do your back bend, go at your pace, how high you need it to be. Guide that down dog when ready. Take a moment here. Child's pose could be nice if that's what your breath tells you should go toward. If you know you want to feel that ignite in the belly and the core, how about a forearm plank? Yes, you can move through again if you'd like. Right? We like to have option. Too many can be busy, but ask your breath what it's asking you to do. Nice at home. Honoring and listening to where you go. And I'll only meet you in down dog when you're ready. So listening to where you should be. Not a rush to get there. I'll be here. When it's okay, let's gaze forward. Gaze back at your toes. Allow the heart to go closer toward your thighs. Floating the right leg up toward the sky, please. Go ahead and stack the right hip on top of the left and find that opening. Come back around. We're gonna step the right foot forward between the thumbs. I stay low until I set my back foot for warrior one pose. Angle the back foot so the toes face the top corner of the mat. You can help yourself up however you need to. Nice. Warrior one, I want my hips to face forward. Sometimes it's nice to kind of guide them that way and then settle in. Take notice of the front knee. Make sure it's stacked over your ankle. Lovely. That's a good idea. Rotate your wrists maybe. Invite the shape. Nothing all that serious. Come into your warrior pose. And then we're gonna just start to lean forward onto the tips of the toes. We don't have to lift that foot yet, but you feel the strong in your front leg as you're pressing through the back. The heels off the ground. Nice. Yeah, we'll find our way back to warrior one. Just inhale, come into it. Let's try that again. That toes face forward is really helpful as you lean. Heel lifts off the ground maybe. Come back into your warrior one shape. Let's go back in. Toes face forward. For those who might like the idea of lifting that back leg, just to see. You know, you have options to keep the foot on the ground. Nice. When you're ready, come back to your warrior one shape. Hands to heart. Step the back foot to meet the front. Take a moment and feel out your sides here. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold over. All the way fold. Halfway lift, familiar space here. And fold, hands plant. You can choose to step back to plank or down dog. Cat-cow can also be your friend at this time. When you're ready, down dog, please. We share with the left side, left leg floats up, three-legged dog. Stack your hips. In due time, that left foot steps its way forward. Set up for your warrior one and rise to it when you're ready. Nice. Give yourself time there. I'm gonna open a window here. Might be a little bit warm. Nice. Enjoy the space. Start to turn the back toes forward and reach forward over that front thigh. I don't have to lift my leg off the ground yet. I'm feeling the strong in my front leg. Come back to warrior one, please. Second time, go ahead and lean in. The back heel can come off the ground. Come back to your warrior one shape. This time the invitation to keep the foot on the ground. Hands at the heart can help with steadying if you choose to lift. Nice. Don't let the breath hold here. Just hold the shape. When you feel you need to lower that back foot, come back to your warrior one, please. Nice. Hands to heart, back toes forward, step to the front of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, folding. That halfway lift. Planting hands, choosing to step back to down dog, plank, and all of that. Or I just would like to be in cat-cow. 4 rounds of breath, and I don't have to rush a thing. You're good. You can lower down when you're ready. Rise up as high as you need to. We'll all meet in child's pose just for a couple of breaths. Thanks. Okay. Nice. From here, we'll go ahead back to a down dog shape. Pedal out the feet. Gazing back at the toes. Take a full round of breath in and a breath out. Right leg rises. We're gonna step the right foot forward. Coming into our warrior one shape. We won't be here too long. Let's straighten the front leg, in fact, just to feel it without locking out the front leg. And think of your stance. If it feels too short, it could be uncomfortable. So maybe taking the foot back an inch or two. Nice. Coming back into your warrior one with the knee bent. Let's straighten the front leg again. Come back into your warrior one shape. This time bring your hands to hips. The back foot comes a little bit closer. Straighten the front leg, pyramid pose. I'm hinging forward. Hinge forward. Think of the crown of the head reaching toward the front of the room. And then lift right back up. Crown of the head is high. We're inviting this fold, so when you're ready, hinge forward, feel the right hip pull back. Inhale, lifting the torso. This time I might fold over and decide I want to plant my hands either on blocks in this pyramid pose. You might grab onto the front leg. For those who have reverse prayer in your practice, go ahead and find it behind the back. Paying attention to that front thigh. The hamstring might be a little tight. My knee doesn't have to be super straight here. Relax the muscles in the neck. Nice. And from your pyramid pose, let's go ahead and step the back foot forward and fold. There's a halfway lift here. Exhale, folding. You can choose to step back to down dog or plank. Only move through your vinyasa if your body needs it. You can always be still. Maintaining the breath. Good. That left leg will rise only when you're ready from your down dog. Taking sips of water is nice. Yes. I'm only stepping that left foot forward between my thumbs. Rising into your warrior one. Taking a moment to straighten that front leg without locking the front knee. And then bend back in. Straighten. And bend back in. Let's go ahead and straighten. You might bring your hands to your hips. Remember, the left hip draws back. Hinge forward without locking. You don't have to go far. Straightening up, torso. Nice. And again, coming forward. This last time. I can certainly stay upright this way. Or if you feel more like bringing the nose toward your knee, placing hands on the blocks, your thigh, Lord's Prayer. This whole side might feel totally different. Please remember to draw the right hip back. Or forward, sorry, the left hip is going back. And breathe. Let's bend back into your warrior one, bending that front knee. Hands can come to heart. Let's step forward, please. We'll do a half sun salute, just to give our wrists a bit of a rest. Inhale, let's lift up. Exhale, close forward. Halfway lift. And then find your fold. Rise, pressing into the feet, lift all the way up. Draw your hands towards your heart. Inhale, lift. Maybe a slight back bend here. Exhaling, I fold. That halfway lift. Folding in. This last time, rising up all the way. Maybe the hips go forward a little. Just a slight back bend. Hands come in towards your heart, please. Feeling grounded at this point. So putting weight onto your left foot. Let's go ahead and draw the right leg up. As you're lifting, keeping that foot flexed. This is a nice support system if you like. Now, if reaching for your big toe seems to call you, then find that spot to look at. Stay right here. Or maybe I want to straighten. All just options, yeah. If you're straightening and want to go out to the side, I wouldn't stop you. I'd also be kind for those who want to hold on to the back of their thigh. And breathe. Now let's come back around, let that go. Release it, shake it out. Arms and legs. Good idea. Lift up. Exhale, float down. Halfway lift. And find your fold, please. We'll rise all the way up. Hands come to heart. Set your focal point on something. It could be a spot on the floor. Something to keep your gaze as you invite that left leg to rise. A lot of that energy in the foot as you lift up helps you find stability. I can stay here, here. If you have access to that big toe and it wants to get a grab on, please do. Yeah. Be kind as you play with this shape. I only go where it will allow. Nice. Focus. And breathe. Nice. It's a gentle invitation to come out. Letting go in your way. Shake it out, exactly. That could be as simple as taking the legs wide and just releasing some of that energy. It's coming back to a shorter stance, mountain pose. Notice each side. On your in-breath, lift it. Exhale, let's fold all the way, please. Take in that halfway lift. Fold and allow the hands, if they come to the ground, let them be there. I'm offering a little bit of a challenge. If you like big toe pose and actually touching onto your big toe, can you take your peace fingers, grab onto the big toe? If you're not sure, you can take a gaze at what I'm doing. My left hand will come to my hip and I invite my lift into. I'm invited. I'm not saying that has to happen. So if I know that is not in my practice, I go back to what I do know. The invitation to lift from standing. Yes. There's no right or wrong. It's just focus. Yeah. Coming on out when you're ready. Shake it out again. Yeah. Lifting the arms. Invite yourself to float over. as a halfway lift, if you like. If you were a fan of grabbing onto the big toe, go onto the other side. Press down into the foot and lift. If that was not in your jam for today, there's still a lot of work to do from standing and playing around with. Nice, nice. I come out when my body says it's right. Nice, Edel. Okay. Relax it. Shake it out. Inhale the arms up and ready. Cascading down. That halfway lift. Finding your full fold. I invite you to step back into plank. And can you walk down to your forearms here? You can use your knees. But in this forearm plank, we're gonna come into Sphinx pose. The pelvis comes to the ground, the crown of the head lifts. It's almost like you're drawing your elbows back toward yourself. Palms can be flat here, or however it's comfortable for your hands. And breathe. You're offering your heart forward. We'll go ahead and tap the forehead down. Take your arms out wide to the sides. And then invite a lift up. Feel, not compression of the low back, just lifting up. Invite that lower down. It's nice to tense your fingers here. We'll go twice more. I just lift as high as I need to. And lower down. One more lift up. And invitation to lower down. Let's bring the hands by the sides, please. Pointing the toes. Let's lift the heart off the ground, keeping the feet down for now. Just the upper part of the body. Nice. And then lower. This time I'm going to keep my upper half on the ground and just invite my legs to lift. Yep. Head is down, legs lower. This time, if it's in your practice, you can lift both maybe. The torso, lower half of the body, maybe interlace your fingers. If I feel any hint of twinge in my back, this is not where I should be. I come on out as easy as I can. Sinking back into your child's pose when ready. From your child's pose, please melt into table. The invitation again to move through cat-cow. Sometimes moving from side to side in it can help free up some of that motion of the back. We find that bit of stillness once again. Activating our core. Let's take the right leg back, the left arm forward, spinal balance. Again, the toes you'd like to face down. Nice. You don't have to stay here long, and honestly, looking up in this pose is not the best for the neck. So gazing down, thumb toward the sky. Nice. Exhale, let it all come down, and swoop the other side up. So the left leg goes back, the right arm goes forward. Nice. A little wobble happens sometimes, so no worry. Exhale, let all that go, please. Swooping the legs out to one side. And let's go ahead and take the left leg extended out. Take your right leg over top to cross over. You might need your blanket to sit on. That's more than okay to do. Let's go go ahead and go for a gentle twist toward the right side. You might hug that knee in. If it's accessible, maybe the knee goes outside. Whatever feels right here. Again, think of wringing out that washcloth, kind of like what you're doing with your core here. As you breathe in, can you lengthen the spine a little bit taller? And as you exhale, maybe twist in a little more. Let's come back around towards center, keeping the leg where it is. Here's an option to add a little more to this shape. You can tuck, maybe, that left leg underneath. Try to make sure that the bum is level as you can get it. Let's go ahead, lift the arms up, feel your length. If this does not suit the body, keep the leg extended, okay? Nice. Let me find our space here. Let's go ahead and take the right elbow into hand and just allow the fingers to go down the back. It's about lifting your heart forward here. This is plenty. Or maybe you wrap around with your left hand. My hands don't have to connect for me to actually enjoy this pose. Let's take a full breath in here and let the breath out. Bringing your hands by your sides. I'll show you where you can go from here if you wish. Lifting, and just like you're on a turntable, come back around. It's an option. Doesn't have to happen. When you lift your bum, keep going around, spinning the feet. Somehow magically, your left leg ends up on top. No fret if that doesn't happen, right? It feels good when you're like, I made it. It feels good if you're like, I don't want to do that. So no worry. Let's go ahead. You can start with that leg extended. The side could be totally different. We're embracing that twist. So breathe in first and lengthen the spine. And then discover if you want to reach outside or on the inside as you twist. Just breathe. Lengthening. And then exhale, twist maybe a little bit more. Coming back around. And lift your arms up and link on to your opposite elbow, your left elbow. Maybe that right arm comes underneath. Fingers don't have to connect. Try to avoid pulling the head down. This is an uplift. The heart reaches forward here. Just feel the breath come into the body. Start to let that go completely and take your legs out in front. Go nice and long. Adjust the sits bones, flex the feet. Lift the arms up when ready. And just reach forward before lowering, just like you're offering a gift to someone. And then inhale, lift back up, heart beams forward. As you fold forward, I'm reaching out. One more reach again, lifting up. And start to reach forward to plant your hands. They don't have to touch your feet. They might. If you want to intensify a little, you might take a block and press them into your feet. Think of your hamstrings here. You don't have to have super straight legs for this to count. As you have your hold here, keep your hands where they're planted, and simply lift halfway. Invite that fold again. One more time, a lift halfway up. And then invite that fold again. We'll start to release the props, maybe walk your hands up toward the body. And kind of how we started before, we kind of windshield wiper the legs from side to side. You can adjust on your mat how you feel comfortable. Just one leg going into center, one leg coming out. We'll land over toward the right side, deer pose. And the openness of the hips here. My leg doesn't have to be right behind my body. Lengthening, and then inviting that fold. Keeping the crown of the head reaching away from the tailbone. If the forehead would like to touch the ground, or reach, stack the hands and have your forehead connected, just embrace the grounding feeling here. As you start to ease your way out, maybe taking, before fully settling on the other side, another moment of transition, back and forth. Landing with the left leg in front. Lengthen first and then fold over to where it feels right. Remember to make space for the body. Yeah. Feeling connected to the earth here in this shape. As we venture to lift up, finding a table position, enjoying that cat-cow once again. All familiar spaces. This time your cat-cow, you might bend the elbows a lot. You might slow your pace. We find that moment to pause. And I would extend my right leg back first and then invite the right foot forward. Maybe you feel a little bit more open here and scoot your left back further. Keeping the hands on the ground is nice if that's where it works for you. If you feel very warm here, bringing your forearms on the inside onto the ground, lizard-like pose. That's okay to go to also. Force nothing though. Your blocks can be your friend here. If you're taking care of wrists, I would go to the forearms on your blocks if you're going down, just to give them a break. For those who are in full lizard pose, make sure you're drawing that right leg really close to the body. Relaxing of the neck. If you're staying upright, framing your front feet, keep the length from tailbone away from the crown of the head. And just breathe. When it feels right for my friends and lizards, start to walk back to that position where you're framing the front foot. We can take the right leg back behind, extend it for a bit, maybe shake it out. And resettling into table so that you can move through cat-cow once again. Finding your settled neutral spine. The left leg goes back, and then step the left foot between the thumbs at first, just to see. Taking your right leg back only as far as it needs to go. Lizards in your practice, hands come on the inside. Maybe the forearms are an okay place for you to be. Yeah. Even if the mind wanders here, it's quite all right. Let it go. Notice and then let it go. From lizard, we start to walk back, framing the front foot, shooting the left leg back and away. Maybe shake it out a little. Lowering that leg, coming into Sukhasana. that seated pose once again. If you normally cross, like maybe you always go for the right leg over the left, this time can you switch the more dominant side or the one you go to first? Grounded, feeling the sits bones connected to the ground. Lengthen the spine, hands can rest on your knees. Inviting that cow face feeling. Heart goes forward. Exhale, press back. This rocking back and forth motion, take liberty with it. Relaxing your shoulders. There's nothing intense that needs to happen. Just offering here. The next time you offer your heart forward, just hold there a moment. Make a few Kundalini circles, just going over to the right side, rounding out through the back, coming over to front. You can be as liberal here as you need to. Maybe the head gets involved, the shoulders get involved. You find a bit of stillness, your steady space where the crown is reaching high, heart goes forward. Might feel strange to go the opposite direction first. Just embrace how you're inviting the different planes of motion in your spine. Nice. Finding stillness here. The soles of the feet toward the ground, toward the top of your mat. And a gentle finding yourself on your back. You can draw your knees in towards your chest, giving a nice squeeze in here. Soles of the feet toward the ground, the knees are upward. Coming into your bridge pose, press into the feet. This time you can interlace your hands behind your back and keep it static, still. Or if you prefer to flow, that's totally your choice. Notice the pace of the breath coming in and out. As you exhale, the hips come down. The soles of the feet pop up toward the sky, legs up a wall style here. You can play with pointing toes and flexing feet if that feels right. You might even go into a straddle position here and just embrace that space at the peak. As you're in a legs up a wall position, if you know your low back needs support or would like your attention, you can place your hands under the low back. So you're resting on the back of your hands. Flexing the feet as their legs are up. We're going to very slowly lower the right leg down until you get about an inch or so off of the mat. And then just hold at that peak spot. Not holding your breath, just the shape. And then even slower than you think you'd like to, start to lift that leg back up. Feeling the journey back to rise. Inviting the left side to do the same. Think of the control and strength in your core. Find that peak. Savor that time for a moment or two. And that slow rise. Draw both knees in. Go ahead and lower the legs so they're extended long. If you're resting on the back of your hands, you could turn this into fish pose. So once again, laying on your arms in a way. Dig the elbows into the ground. Lifting your heart. Noticing the breath come into the throat. As you exhale, start to release that bind, walking off of the hands. A happy baby, if you please. Knees come in towards your chest. Let's go ahead and drop them over toward the right side. Embracing this twisting, this wringing out. Gaze where it feels most comfortable for the body. Start to venture back towards center. And again, over to the opposite side. Just notice. Coming back through center. We're going to go into butterfly pose. So the soles of the feet come to touch. The knees go out wide. Just laying on your back in your butterfly pose. Try to make the upper part of your body as comfortable as possible. If my hips feel tight here and they need a little support, it doesn't bother to grab a block, place it under your thighs or blankets. Let your arms rest where they're most comfortable. Sometimes it's on the hip creases, sometimes maybe a hand on your heart, one on your belly. Or just let them be. Working toward Shavasana. And so from this position, there might be something else your body could use. You might even choose a tree pose on your back, extending maybe your left leg long and tucking your right foot into your left leg. Just as if you were standing, but you're not worried about balance. Just feeling the hips be open. So I'm in a tree pose, I'm just laying down. Or staying in your butterfly pose. My friends who've opted for tree, you might start to think about switching out the other side, only taking that foot as high as it needs to go. Again, the invitation, if there's some place you know your body needs to settle for a little bit. Yes, a shoulder stand works if that's in your practice. Plow or anything else that calls your attention. It's more than okay to take liberty with that. You're inviting your body to come to that Shavasana. All feel different, be different, and that's okay. For my friends at home, some of you I know need to make way into the studio. So this could be time for you to take your Shavasana early, a snip of it, and then make your way in. Totally your choice. You're welcome to stay with. When we think of Shavasana, often we think I lay on my back and I don't need anything else. Sometimes laying on the back is not conducive, especially if you are dealing with any type of sinus or breathing support is needed. Sometimes sitting up is fine, or resting on one side. Welcome to rest here. Because this is more of an extended Shavasana in this practice, I'll start with a little guided meditation and then send you on your way to rest. You might lose my words as you are resting, and that's more than all right. You're in your space, in your zone. So we're finding that balance in this busy time of season. The balance inside the body We notice this energy that comes along the midline of the body, thinking at the base of the spine. The space of feeling grounded and steady. This energy field usually comes in the color red. People see red when they think of this space. It's associated with red. This space of security, the base of the spine. Take it in the way you see it. As we bring our attention to that space a little bit above the base of the spine, the pelvis, toward the navel, our sacral chakra. This area is associated with emotion, can be associated with joy in many ways and creativity. We enter that space of the core area. Core, solar plexus, space of courage and strength. Simply notice this space and see it for yourself. As we leave this space going toward the heart center, see this space of compassion and loving. You may breathe deep into this space, loving for yourself, for others. Venture a little higher up this chain of energy toward the thoracic region, the space of communication, where you speak your truth. Space where you can be heard, also the space where you hear others. Start to relax the muscles in the face, allowing the teeth to part slightly, the tongue to rest at the top of the mouth, roof of the mouth. The softness to the cheeks. Venturing toward that space between the brows, soften that space. Space of intuition, spiritual seeing. As we connect these spaces of energy toward the crown of the head, space that's always reaching. Inviting the midline of the body to move in harmony. Each space working together, feeling the wholeness of yourself. Settle into your Shavasana. Of course, you can always change position. as you rest here, know that thoughts may wander, and that is okay. Allow them to be there and let them go. Start to notice parts of your body that could use attention, maybe the slightest wiggle of your toes, stretching and moving of ankles, whatever needs your attention, and show a kindness to those spaces. If it's a full big body stretch that you need, please go for it. Feel your reach. You might need to cuddle yourself in a little before rolling to one side and taking a breath or two there. Thinking about how you make your way to seated. Maybe eyes stay closed and you feel that whole journey. Finding that steady seat. Start to take in sounds that you hear, inviting yourself back to the space. Opening the eyes, taking in what you see bit by bit. Be moving the shoulders as you sit tall. Let's take a full breath in through the nose. And breathe it out how you need. Drawing your hands in towards your heart. Chin towards your chest. Just bowing to this day and all the energy that flows through you and around you. I bow to your practice. Namaste. You can bow to each other. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Any questions?